In 1996, Texas Instruments released the TI-83, the first in a new line of calculators based on a Zilog Z80 processor. Then, in 1999, they released the TI-83 Plus, which differed from the base model in that it had 160 kilobytes of flash RAM, meaning that it was able to store and run external apps. Finally, in 2001, another revision titled the TI-83 Plus Silver Edition was released with higher clock speeds and 1.5 megabytes of flash RAM. While the TI-83 series was relatively popular, it would not see the same success and long-term support as its successor, the TI-84 Plus, arguably the most popular calculator ever made. Today, I will be exploring the history of the TI-84 Plus series of calculators and explaining why it continues to see widespread use 2 decades after its introduction. The original TI-84 Plus models were released in 2004. Oddly, there is no base TI-84 like there was in the 83 series. The base TI-84 Plus featured specs comparable to the TI-83 Plus Silver Edition. It had the same 15 MHz Zilog Z80 processor, which in 2004 was already considered ancient technology. Depending on the model, it featured 48 or 128 kilobytes of RAM with 1 megabyte of flash ROM. Released alongside the TI-84 Plus was the TI-84 Plus Silver Edition. The Silver Edition was identical to the base model apart from doubling the flash ROM to 2 megabytes. There were also school property editions released for these two models with a yellow case and backing for schools to easily distinguish between school-owned calculators and personal calculators. In 2011, an updated TI-84 was released called the TI-84 Pocket FR. It was released in the French market and was smaller and lighter than the regular TI-84 Plus models. Despite being the only TI-84 model not to have a plus in the name, it did feature the same specs as the base TI-84 Plus. A few months later, the TI-84 Plus Pocket Silver Edition was released in Asian markets. It too featured the same specs as the TI-84 Plus Silver Edition, but in a smaller form factor. In 2013, the TI-84 Plus C Silver Edition was released. This model was a stepping stone from the base TI-84 Plus models to the more recent TI-84 Plus CE. This model featured a higher resolution color screen, a first for Texas Instruments Z80 based calculators. It had similar specs to the regular Silver Edition model, but had twice the flash ROM at 4 megabytes, and it had a rechargeable battery rather than taking 4 AAAs. This model was highly criticized for being very slow. The Z80 was far too outdated to support the higher screen resolution and color. While the Z80 was capable of being overclocked to 22 MHz, it was clear that further advancement would require a new processor. The next TI-84 model came in 2015 with the introduction of the TI-84 Plus T, which was released in the Netherlands. It was similar to the base model but lacked assembly support and had an LED indication light signifying whether or not the calculator was in test mode. Test mode was a mode that limited the calculator's features to prevent cheating on specific tests. The most recent revision of the TI-84 Plus is the TI-84 Plus CE, known as the TI-83 Premium CE in France. Released in 2015, this model finally upgraded the Z80 to an EZ80 processor. Although this processor was still very outdated, having been released in 2001, it was a welcome upgrade, bringing clock speeds of up to 48 MHz. The CE upgraded the RAM to 256 kilobytes, and it had 3 megabytes of flash ROM. The CE came in many colors, some highlights of which include silver linings, lightning, plum pie, and golden ratio. Like with the base model, the CE also got a T version in the European market with a test mode LED. Schools also had the option to buy yellow school property editions of the CE. In 2019, the CE had its design revised, which gave it a slight speed boost to models in revision M and later. In 2020, Texas Instruments made the controversial decision to remove assembly support from the CE calculators. This sparked outrage in the calculator community, as assemblies would allow the CE to run apps like the TI-Boy CE Game Boy emulator. However, the community quickly created the Artifice exploit to restore assembly support to the calculator. The most recent revision of the CE is called the TI-84 Plus CE Python Edition, which released in 2021. As the name suggests, this version of the CE was capable of programming and running Python code through the use of a separate ARM-based coprocessor. The Python implementation does work, but it has been criticized for its slow speed. The TI-84 Plus has been a staple in high schools across the world for 20 years now. Despite featuring old and outdated hardware, schools do not upgrade their calculators, and there are several reasons behind that. Firstly, teachers are familiar and comfortable with the TI-84's layout and features. The base TI-84 Plus gets the job done, and they see little need to upgrade. The second reason for the TI-84's continued popularity is Texas Instruments' domination of the calculator market. They have an estimated 80% market share and are instantly recognizable. Even if companies like HP and Casio are able to offer higher quality calculators at lower prices, people will still gravitate towards Texas Instruments because that is what they know best for calculators. Despite beginning in 2004, the TI-84 series continues to be the most popular series of calculators in the world. While some criticize the lack of innovation in the TI-84 series, others enjoy the ease and familiarity at which they are able to use these calculators. The TI-84 calculators are able to perform the tasks required by most students and employees, and unless a significant change in society's mathematical needs occurs, that is unlikely to ever change. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon with some more tech history.